Hi Aries, welcome to your July 2021 astrological forecast. The month starts off with planets in Cancer that eventually move into Leo. But Mars starts off the month in Leo up until the 28th. On the 29th it moves into Virgo. So you do have a planet in a fellow fire sign of Leo up until that point in your 5th house. That's where you have the sign of Leo. So wherever Mars is transiting, it brings about an awful lot of activity, physical activity. Gives you a burst of energy in whatever area it falls in your chart. So whatever area of life. And the 5th house is romance, speculation, children, entertainment of any kind, fun, creativity, all kinds of fun stuff. Okay, so you're making up for lost time, more or less, by having Mars here. You're set to have fun. Okay, and even more so when planets finally move into this area towards like the end of the month. But the month does start off with the Sun in Cancer, where you have Cancer in your chart is your 4th house. There's a new moon here on the 9th in Cancer. Mercury moves into Cancer on the 11th. And yeah, that's about it. Those are the planets that are still in Cancer for a while. The month does start off with Mercury still in Gemini, in direct motion, just for like the first 10 days. But you would more or less, unless you have something else going on in your chart, I don't really think you'll notice that too much. When Mercury does move into your 4th house of Cancer, you might I don't know, notice a little bit more kind of conversations with your family members, whomever it is that you live with. But your 4th house is your house of family and where you actually physically live and the people you live with. Even if you live alone, there's still some kind of contact with your family. Could be this same time every year. Maybe this is some kind of get-together that you do with your relatives or something. Planets just left your 3rd house of like your siblings and your cousins. So even, like I said, still having Mercury there in Gemini up until the 10th, maybe you are in touch with one of these people, your sibling or cousins or something, or even friends. Could be friends, but we're in the family mode right now that the Sun is in your 4th house. Okay, so a lot of times when people have planets here, they do things like want to remodel their house or do things like paint or something or other, but some kind of changes, physical changes made to the house. You also have, okay, I have to mention, Venus is also in Leo in your 5th house. So you have Venus and Mars, the love planets, both in your 5th house of romance, okay, and fun. But we're going to go with romance for now, okay? So maybe you are seeing someone, or even if you're married, or whatever, even if you have someone living with you, you live together right now, it becomes a little bit maybe more romantic at this time, and maybe you are making changes within, physical changes within your home in order to have this person feel more comfortable. If it's someone new especially, maybe they are moving their things in, their stuff in. If you're married and have been married for a while, there's still something or other going on there. In fact, besides romance, the 5th house is the house of creativity. So you could be working on a project even with someone that you are romantically involved with, or just anyone in general, but it's taking place within your home. The work is being done within your home. So your home is like very active right now. Mars was just here, so you know, it's like I said, it's a physical planet, gives you tons of energy. So when Mars was in your 4th house in Cancer, you actually did a lot of stuff to your home or wherever it is that you lived. You made extra room, you threw stuff out, you bought new stuff, you replaced this or that, but there was a lot of activity going on there when Mars was there. Now that it's moved into your 5th house, you have the Sun and other planets here in your 4th house, so it's kind of like the tail end of shoring something up, but it's like you're preparing your home for something or other. The new moon on the 9th in this area in Cancer could bring some kind of new moons bring new beginnings, so it could bring anything new, a new person even into your life, new arrangement in regards to your living conditions or living quarters even. But someone new could be joining you within your home. When Mercury moves here on the 11th, you may have a lot more conversations with the people that you live with, or your family for some reason or other. You may have to consult them about something or other. Your 4th house is also your personal life and your past, like your childhood. So you could even have contact with people from, your past, but it could be people that possibly you went to school with, grade school, something like that, or relatives, but it almost looks like you're in touch with people in regards to your home, something about your home, maybe the previous owner. Maybe you're trying to find out a little bit more about if you own an actual house, the land surrounding it. Maybe this is a time where you are having land surveyed or something. You're looking for a property line. Just inquiring about a lot of things about the house. So at this time, though, too, you could actually be on the receiving end of information, especially if you were asking a lot of questions just previously when planets were in Gemini, like from your neighbors in your neighborhood, trying to find out whatever it is about your home or property. If you were just asking a little bit more, especially if you're new to the area or just haven't lived there for very long and you need to know a little bit more. So maybe you couldn't get the answers then, but now they're starting to trickle in. Okay. Let's see here. So Venus does move into Virgo on the 21st, and Mars moves here on the 29th. Okay, so you have Venus and Mars leaving your 5th house and moving into your 6th house of the kind of work that you do in the workplace, your co-workers. It's also the house of health, and the house of service. But the Sun actually moves into Leo on the 22nd, again in your 5th house. And Mercury moves here on the 27th. So you have planets, they're like in your 4th, 5th, and 6th house. These are the areas that are active, really active right now. So there's also like a full moon on the 23rd in the sign of Aquarius. And where you have Aquarius in your chart as your 11th house, it's directly across from your 5th house. So it's still here. The full moon is at the time where planets are still in Leo in your 5th house. Okay, your 11th house where you have Aquarius is your most sociable house. It's your friends and acquaintances. It's where you would normally go to hang out, any kind of bar or club, excuse me, that you frequent. If you're not going out in person, you're socializing online. But around this time, sometimes one of your friends or an acquaintance or somebody that you know could kind of say or do something that rubs you the wrong way. And this is in regards to your love life. They could question you about someone that you're seeing, or ask a lot of really nosy questions that are none of their business anyway. Or speak their opinion on your love life, or anything creative that you may be involved in. And if you do have children, somebody could say something about them. Not like it's really, really bad. It's just that something that was kind of sarcastic or something, and really unnecessary. So who knows why people say these things, but around that time something like that could happen. But a full moon does give you the opportunity to get things off your chest, so this would be the time to do that. So if you have been holding it back and not saying something that you've been dying to say to someone, this would be the perfect time to do that. Okay, around that full moon. Doesn't have to be the exact day, a few days before, a few days after, whatever. But it helps you in some way. You know, you're more or less setting someone straight, putting them in their place, and I doubt very much if they'll say anything more to you in the future about this very thing. Okay, so as long as we're on the 11th house here, okay, Jupiter does finally move back into Aquarius on the 28th. It's in retrograde motion. It is still in your 12th house of Pisces, okay, for most of the month, and it falls back into Aquarius, where it will finish its transit to the end of the year and then move in fully into Pisces. So you may notice while Jupiter was out of your 11th house of friends and whatever, you also have Saturn transiting here right now. So for a while there, Saturn and Jupiter were transiting together, and Jupiter kind of acted like a buffer area in your 11th house of friends, okay, and associates, any kind of organization even that you belong to. But when Jupiter left here just very briefly and went into Pisces, all you had to deal with was Saturn in your 11th house. And at that time, some of your friends became like a real pain in the ass. You know, they blocked you in so many ways, or made you feel that you shouldn't reach for some kind of goal or something or other. They weren't real enthusiastic about any of your plans, or you just, you know, there's usually always one person in your group that is like a real Debbie Downer, okay, never wants to do whatever, always has something wrong to say about something fun. They always find fault in everything. So you may have had to really deal with somebody like that. And it might not even be your friend. It's a friend of one of your friends, but they keep including them in everything that you guys do. So you kind of couldn't get away from them. In a way, maybe that's what that full moon is all about. But anyways, excuse me, so you'll have Jupiter moving back into your 11th house. Maybe you won't notice it right away, but it'll be helpful. Again, okay, having excuse me, Venus and Mars in your 6th house of Virgo brings an awful lot of energy and attention to the workplace and the kind of work that you do. Having Venus here brings, excuse me, sorry about that, brings like a lot more pleasant times with your co-workers. There's a good rapport going on with people there. It seems like you're able to all help one another. Someone's not trying to, you know, steal your thunder or something like that. Having Mars here makes you very physically energetic. If you didn't work out before or have any kind of physical exercise that you did, even if you just walk or ride a bike or dance or something like that, you'll probably do something like that now. A lot of times, like when Mars was in Leo in your 5th house, and that's the house of fun and entertainment, you could have started to do something. It's also the house of sports. So you could have taken up some kind of physical activity that you did it just for fun, but it seems to have made you feel better, you know, and even look better. So you're continuing it. When Mars moves into Virgo, into your 6th house, it's become part of your like daily ritual of exercise, some form of exercise. But your health seems to be pretty good at this time, especially with these 2 planets here. And I have to say, though, a lot of times having Venus in this area does kind of bring about maybe the opportunity to at least start dating someone, possibly, that you work with. Or just in some way or other, if you're in a creative field, this would just be very natural for you. But if you're not, for some reason, you are put in charge of, let's say, beautifying your work or the workplace, or even if you're just ordering stuff for the office or wherever it is that you work. If you don't work at all, this is still a very active house as far as, again, your health goes, and any kind of work that you might want to take up for just for fun, but somewhere down the line it's going to pay off. It's for money. You're not just doing it to pass the time. You would like to earn some money from it. So the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Aries on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 28th, 29th, and 30th. The best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Libra, and those dates are the 15th, 16th, and 17th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, gambling or speculation, and anything to do with children is the 11th, 12th, 24th, 25th, and 26th. The best time for money is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 30th, and 31st. The best time for your career is the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. And the best time for communication and travel is the 6th, 7th, 8th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. So I hope you enjoyed your astrological forecast for July. Be sure to check out my weekly forecast, and remember, to subscribe to my channel. See you next week. Goodbye.